Is it possible to play your entire deck and combo off with Sibsig Ceremony in Standard? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and we have a super sweet one today. We are heading to our new standard format to try to combo off with the Sibsig Ceremony, and when this deck works, it can do some ridiculous things, like play our entire deck of creatures and win the game on the spot with a huge amount of damage. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, and see if we can pull off the combo. So we're built around the Sibsig Ceremony, which I gotta say, has some of my favorite art from the new set. My god, it has some sweet classic looking magic art. But it's a 3-mana triple black legendary enchantment. This is our creatures cost 2 less to cast, but when a creature we control enters, if we cast it, it gets blown up and we get a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token instead. So how do we actually combo off with the Sibsig Ceremony? Well, step one is we gotta make sure we have a Sibsig Ceremony. Our deck really needs it to do pretty much anything. So we're gonna mulligan pretty aggressively to find it, and we have a couple of Beseech the Mirrors, which we can sack some of the random artifacts we have in our deck that we'll talk about in a minute that combo with the Sibsig Ceremony to be able to get a Sibsig Ceremony. So essentially we have 6 Sibsig Ceremonies in our deck, because if we don't have a Sibsig Ceremony, our deck doesn't really do anything especially cool. So let's assume we get a Sibsig Ceremony. The next most important piece in the deck to actually going functionally infinite, it's not true infinite, but functionally infinite, is Spinner of Souls. So Spinner of Souls, a 3-mana 3/4 Spider Spirit with reach. This is when a non-token creature you control dies, you reveal cards from the top of your library. Until you reveal a creature, it goes in your hand. The rest go on the bottom in a random order. So the idea is, if we can get Spinner of Souls on the battlefield alongside Sibsig Ceremony, every creature we play gonna get blown up and turned into a 2/2 black zombie. We still get its enters trigger, death trigger, whatever, but then Spinner of Souls is gonna replace that with another creature, which can allow us to actually just play every creature in our deck once it gets going. But there is a problem with this plan. We have to get Spinner of Souls on the battlefield before Sibsig Ceremony, because if we play Sibsig Ceremony first and then we play Spinner of Souls, it's just going to get blown up and go to the graveyard and not do the cool thing. But we do have a plan to get around this, which is Gixin Puppeteer. So notice Sibsig Ceremony only blows up the creature if we cast it. Gixin Puppeteer says when it dies, we can reanimate a creature mana value 3 or less. So the idea is, we don't have our Spinner of Souls before the Sibsig Ceremony. What we can do is play Sibsig Ceremony, then we play Spinner of Souls for 1 mana. It's gonna get blown up, turn into a zombie, go to the graveyard. Then we play Gixin Puppeteer for 2 mana. It's gonna get blown up. When it dies, it can put the Spinner of Souls back into play, but since we didn't cast it, it actually gets to stick on the battlefield. So that's really the goal of the deck. We want to get a Sibsig Ceremony and a Spinner of Souls on the battlefield at the same time, because if we can do this, we should just win the game. Because if you look at the rest of our deck, it is a ton of creatures that do something and are essentially free with Sibsig Ceremony. So Market Back Walker, for example, we can cast it X=1 for free with Sibsig Ceremony thanks to the discount. It's going to enter with a counter. When it dies, we get to draw a card. Plus, it's going to trigger a Spinner of Souls, so we're going to get another creature out of it. Friendly Teddy, free with Sibsig Ceremony. When it dies, each player draws a card, and it'll trigger a Spinner of Souls. Scrapwork Mode, when it enters, we get to lose. We can get rid of an extra land, an extra Sibsig Ceremony. Going to be free with the Sibsig Ceremony. Gleaming Bearer, this one's really important. So it's free, and when it dies, it makes a treasure. That's really key, because that treasure is going to give us the mana that we need, either to cast our finisher after we play all the creatures in our deck, or to cast Greedy Freebooter or Charming Scoundrel. So these are kind of the weakest creatures in our deck, because they're only free if we already have a mana available. If we just tap out for Sibsig Ceremony on turn 3 and don't have an extra mana, we're not going to have the mana to play Greedy Freebooter or Charming Scoundrel, because they require colored mana. But if we have 1 extra mana to start, then both Greedy Freebooter and Charming Scoundrel are also free, because when they enter or die, they make a treasure token, so they cost 1, but we get back that 1 mana. Plus, Greedy Freebooter lets us scry. Charming Scoundrel could also loot if we don't need to make the treasure. So the idea is Sibsig Ceremony, Spinner of Souls, then we just chain these creatures together again and again and again. In theory, we can go through our entire deck like this and end up with like 20 zombies, 30 zombies on the battlefield. And then the last piece of the puzzle, Imodane's Recruiter. So once we cast our entire deck, make all these zombies, eventually we're going to run to the Imodane's Recruiter. We can cast it for 1 mana with Sibsig Ceremony, probably off a treasure from Greedy Freebooter or Charming Scoundrel or Gleaming Barrier. And then it just hastes up and pumps our team, and we swing in for like 80 damage or something and just win the game on the spot. So that is the goal of the deck. That's what we're trying to do every single game. Sibsig Ceremony, Spinner of Souls, play your deck, Imodane's Recruiter, win the game, maybe as early as turn 3 with our best draw. draws. As far as the rest of the deck, we get a bunch of lands. The main thing about the mana beast is we want every single land to tap for black mana because of the Sibsig Ceremony. So we got a bunch of black-red duels, green-black duels, and then essentially green and red are just our splash colors, but every single land makes black. So as long as we hit 3 lands, we know we can cast a Sibsig Ceremony on time, even though it's 3 black mana. And that is Sibsig Ceremony combo for standard. That's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how realistic it is to pull off this ridiculous plan. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is Sibsig Ceremony combo time. We're into our new standard format to try to play our deck. It's 2/2 zombies, maybe on turn 3. This hand, no Sibsig Ceremony. So this is a deck where we do mulligan pretty aggressively for Sibsig Ceremony, but we do have Beseech the Mirror and some artifacts, so we should be able to find a Sibsig Ceremony in the future. I'm gonna mill the friendly Teddy. About it, land. And, oh god, Gruel, don't mouse us. In our dream world, we play Charming Scoundrel, make a treasure, but we don't have red mana. So I guess we could play the Mutt and Liu. Actually, let's just run out a barrier. Run out a Gleaming Barrier. It's a good one to sack to the Beseech the Mirror if we get the lands for it. The Iron Crag. Oh, so our opponents, okay, they're not aggro, they're ramp of some kind. Well, let's Mutt. Discard a Spinner of Souls. We don't mind having one in the graveyard anyway for Gitaxian Puppeteer. Play the land, pass the turn. And Overlord of the Hauntwood. So if we draw a land, do we win this turn? Well, we don't draw the land anyway. Well, I mean, I guess we just play the Spinner. With the Spinner on the battlefield, if we draw a land next turn and the Spinner is still there, then we win the game. Like, odds of winning are incredibly high. Opponent, Maelstrom of the Spear Dragon. Okay, so some sort of dragon ramp deck? Up the beanstalk. Sure. Opponent passes. All right, there's a land. Well, they could have a counter or something, but I think we just gotta go for it. We just gotta go for it. All right, it's party time. Beseech the Mirror. Sack the Gleaming Barrier, so we get a treasure. More importantly, we're gonna get, well, we get a card off Spinner too, which is nice, but we get the Sibsig Ceremony. And with the Spinner on the battlefield, hopefully this means we win the game right now. So Sibsig Ceremony. All of our creatures cost 2 less. When they come into play, they die, and we get a zombie. So now we get to play a Gleaming Barrier for free. Make a treasure. Get a zombie. And we get a card, thanks to the Spinner. Spinner is really key to the combo. Like, we can still have big turns without Spinner, but once we have Spinner going, in theory, we could play every creature in our deck. Friendly Teddy, for free. Gonna die. Gonna draw us a card. Gonna trigger the Spinner. Gonna make a zombie. So we keep doing this at least until we find an Imodane's Recruiter. Ooh, another Spinner. It's nice that we have an extra mana, since it lets us turn all of our freebooters and Charming Scoundrels into free zombies and Spinner triggers. Greedy freebooter. Gonna do a little die-in. The combo is a little repetitive. At least it's not timeoutable, though. I don't think you gotta worry about timing out with it. I hope not. Yeah, we'll keep Market Backwalker to find with our Spinner. Market Backwalker is nice because it draws us a card when it dies. Market Backwalker. X1. Sibsig Ceremony is kind of wild. You got to build around it, but boy, is it busted once you do. So now, Spinner and Market Draw. All right, another Charming Scoundrel. I mean, as soon as we find an Imodane's Recruiter, I think we just win. So let's play Charming Scoundrel. Zombify it. Make a treasure. Actually, can we loot? Yeah, we have a treasure left over, so we can loot here. We really just need to find the Recruiter. Into Scrapwork Mutt. Okay. Well, let's discard a land. Draw a land. Well, scrap Merc Mutt. We're gonna find it sooner or later, I promise. I promise. Sibsig Ceremony. We still have a lot of looks. Spinner triggers. Recruiter. Okay, freebooter. I mean, the thing is, most of our deck is stuff that we can just keep chaining once we have this set up. So It's, in theory, I guess, possible we could fizzle if we hit a bunch of, like, Gixen puppeteers or something, but unlikely that we fizzle at this point. Freebooter. To the bottom. Up to 7 zombies. Spin. Ah, there we go. There's the recruiter. I mean, we could keep going, but our opponent has been nice enough to sit through this, so let's do a little recruiting. Immodane's recruiter. Unfortunately, I'm gonna die to the Sibsig Ceremony, but fortunately, it doesn't matter because it still triggers haste up the team, and not bad. Not bad. And there's the GG, and that's how you Sibsig Ceremony. Opponent going to Meringue River Region to draw some cards on the way out the door. No mana, though, and, well, yeah, we could have kept going, too. Get in there, and that's Sibsig Ceremony. That's it. We can do it a little faster than that, but that's basically what we want to try to do pretty much every single time. Well, let's keep doing that. Yes, we enjoyed it. Thank you, Magic Gods. It is Sibsig Ceremony time. We're seeing if we can wombo combo off with maybe the sweetest enchantment from Tarkir Dragonstorm in Standard. This hand, heavy on Sibsig Ceremonies and Recruiters, little light on things to chain together, but we got the important card, which is Sibsig. Basically, if we have lands in Sibsig Ceremony, we're probably, ooh, intimidation tactics. Can't take the Sibsig. If we have lands in Sibsig Ceremony, we're pretty much keeping. The rest of our deck is just full of stuff that synergizes with it. So drawing Market Backwalkers or Charming Scoundrels or Friendly Teddies or Gleaming Berries or Scrapwork Butts, that should not be a problem. That's our entire deck. The Sibsig Ceremony, that's the pinch, right, is Sibsig Ceremony. Opponent gonna take the mutt. Ooh, Spinner is good. Spinner is good. That is the full combo. Little awkward, the awkwardness of the Spinner combo. Ooh, Gastro Thrill Rider, okay. Some lizard action, maybe. Huh, would rather draw on a land, but, well, let's play a Friendly Teddy. Yeah, Sibsig Ceremony. The pinch is finding a copy of it. Initially, I didn't have Beseech the Mirror, but Beseech the Mirror has ended up being super helpful, just being extra copies of Sibsig Ceremony. Preacher of the Schism. Blum, 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 blum. Well, let's play the land, and one of the weird pinches of the deck is... Yeah, let's play the Spinner. It's always nice if we play Spinner of Souls first. So the weird pinch of the deck is the full combo, right? Spinner of Souls, Sibsig Ceremony. We do the thing, we win the game. The problem is we can't play Sibsig Ceremony first and then play the Spinner because it'll die to the Sibsig Ceremony. So we either need to play it first like this, or that's where Gixen Puppeteer comes in. Gixen Puppeteer, since Sibsig Ceremony only triggers on things that were cast, we can Spinner, have it go to the graveyard, get it back with the Puppeteer, and then combo off. Bar Fortune End Boss. Opponent's getting aggro. Well, that's fine. We just need any, like, 0 mana. Okay, Market Backwalker works. Anything we can cast for free here. And now, hopefully we win this game. So, Market Back, X1. Zombie, card draw, Spinner draw. We need mana. We need something that makes a treasure. Okay, Scrapwork Mutt's fine. That can filter away a land. Scrapwork Mutt. Discard the tap land. We can make a land drop still. We'd like to find a red source, ideally. Okay, another Market Backwalker. We really want one of our treasure producers. If we can find a treasure producer, I think we should be good. Well, blow up the Market Backwalker. Draw a card. Do a little spinning. Ooh, more spinners and more Sibsigs. Well, I guess we got to sacrifice a spinner here. Now we really need to hit something that makes a treasure because we were out of mana. All right, Market Backwalker. Well, that's double redraw, which is fine. Market Backwalker, our best synergy piece. Since we get the, ooh, okay, Scrapwork Mutt, not dead yet, still going. I mean, I guess even if we fizzle, we can probably block our way out of it. It would be sweet if we can win right now, though. I think we discard a Sibsig Ceremony. Okay, more mutts. Keep them coming, keep the dogs flowing. Scrapwork Mutt, probably better known as a zombie and a Spinner of Souls trigger. Can we make a treasure? Oh, I think the fun. Okay, one more draw. All right, the fun has ended. That's fine. One of the upsides, so even if we fizzle like this and we don't win right away, we have a bunch of blockers. So we shouldn't die this turn because we should be able to just block through our opponent's Rakdos stuff. And then next turn, I'm pretty sure with double spinner, we should be good. Opponent gets it with the Preacher. Well, we'll take it. Opponent gets to draw. We are just going to put a ton of zombies. We don't really care about the zombies. These zombies are very expendable. We're going to throw a bunch in front of this preacher, make sure it dies. We're going to make all the zombies we could ever want during our turn anyway. We would like the Sibsig Ceremony to not die. That'd be nice. Opponent land and Arch. Oh, okay. Interesting. Archfiend to the dross. So now when one of our creatures die, we take 2. So that means we have to win, but we can only cast a max of 5 creatures. We do have another spinner in the graveyard. Okay, can we win with only casting 5 creatures? And we don't have red mana. That's the pinch right now, is not having red mana. Let's turn off auto order triggers. I don't know if this is gonna matter or not, but it might. So let's play the puppeteer. So we're gonna get back another spinner just to make sure we have as much card draw as possible. Yeah, actually maybe manually stacking doesn't matter. So we're gonna get back Spinner of Souls. Take 2 from the Archfiend down to 9. This is gonna be close. This is gonna be very close. All right, Friendly Teddy is a bunch of redraws. So we need red mana in treasure production before we run out of life. All right, going down to 7. Friendly Teddy. Spinner, spinner, draw, drain. Down to 7. Okay, Market Back Walker doesn't make mana. Okay, Gleaming Barrier is good. Gleaming Barrier and red mana. Okay, I think we might be good. So we can play the red source. Oh my god, are we gonna beat this? Archfiend is so good against their combo, but I think we might be able to beat it. Nothing has first strike, right? Okay, so we can attack with everything. We go all the way to 1. So let's Gleaming Barrier, make a treasure, get a couple of triggers. Down to 5. 2 creatures left, which I think we just double Immodane's Recruiter, right? We could, I mean, if it wasn't for this Archfiend, we could play our deck, but Immodane's Recruiter. Haste up the crew, pump couple of triggers, down to 3, and wow. Was not expecting to beat the Archfiend, but we found a way. We found a way past the Archfiend. And yeah, nothing. I'm so paranoid something has first strike, because if they have first strike, they're going to kill something in response and before we deal damage, but I'm pretty sure they don't. Immodane's Recruiter number 2 dies down to 1. But now it is our turn to deal a little bit of damage. We would choose to not play any more creatures and get in there with a crew, 10 zombies, a couple of spinners, opponent. I mean, they're going to have lethal triggers on the stack, but thankfully, I think their life total is going to be a 0 first. Opponent blocks and takes the zombie horde to the face, and that was close. That was really close, but wow. Sibsib Ceremony! Better than the Archfiend. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sibsig Ceremony time. Up against McBreezy. Well, we got 2 Sibsig Ceremonies, so double ceremony, double Teddy. If you had told me a week ago that I'd be playing Friendly Teddy in a in an actual serious standard deck, I would not have believed you. But it actually is like the perfect card for Sibsig Ceremony. It just works so perfectly. That's one of the things I love about this deck and about the Sibsig Ceremony is a lot of the best cards with it are cards that literally no other deck plays. Like if you look at our deck list, what creatures Immodane's Recruiter people play? I guess Scrapwork Mutt and some Reanimator decks. Charming Scoundrel, the super fridges, but like Market Back Walker, Friendly Teddy, Gleaming Barrier, Spinner of Souls, Gitaxian Puppeteer. Those are our best cards, and no other deck even plays them. That's one of the sweetest parts about this deck is it really takes advantage of the jank, and when it works, it's actually kind of spectacular. I love enchantments like this. Such a cool card. I love this set. Oh man, I love this set. Running out of time, actually. Well, we are going to keep. We got Sibsig Ceremonies. Is our opponent actually playing this? Are you there, McBreezy? Oh, all right. Eroded Canyon. Well, Blackcleave Cliffs, go. So, if you decide to try this deck, in general, oh boy, Corey Steelcutter, the breakout card of Tarkir Dragonstorm. It's kind of funny that the card from the set that's made the most immediate impact is actually just another Monstrous Rage card. we did get something new out of the set, which is it prowess, but it just feels like playing against mice still. Like, yes, it's different cards, which is cool. It's definitely a different deck, But the play pattern of just like, oh, you cast Monstrous Rages and I die on turn 3. Still kind of there. Well, I mean, Sibsib Ceremony, Friendly Teddy. Let's see if we can combo off enough to survive this. We don't have a spinner then. So since we don't have a spinner, our fun is not infinite. I guess spinner is not technically infinite, but much closer. Let's discard this Verge. Draw. Okay, Gleaming Bear. I mean, we get to make a bunch of zombies. Draw some cards with the Friendly Teddy. Ooh, Gitaxian Puppeteer. Okay, well, do we keep going? I almost think we wait. We're not gonna win this turn. Yeah, let's Market Backwalker. Market Backwalker for 1. Actually, let's Gleaming Bear. Let's Gleaming Bear your first. We might wait on Market Backwalker and try to cast it for a bunch of mana next turn. We can cast it like X3 to refill our hand. So we really would like to find the spinner. We have the Puppeteer. So if we can find the spinner, we can loot it away. Oh, another Steel Cutter. And a Storm Chaser's Talent. All right. Yeah, it's a bit of damage. A bit of damage coming our way. Corey Steel Cutter's so good. It's so good. Bolt Wave. Yeah, I mean, are we going to GG's? I don't think we're actually dead, though. We have a bunch of zombies. The problem is we need to win the game this turn, and I don't think we have the pieces to win the game this turn. We need to find a spinner. We need to survive this, which I think we just barely do, and we need to find the spinner. So block, block, block. We might as well double block. We take a decent amount. Down to 5. All right, deck. Ooh, another Puppeteer. Not the best time for a Puppeteer. Now, play the land. Let's draw a couple of cards, see if we can find the spinner. I don't know if we have enough mana, even if we do find it. Actually, we need to find it right here, and we have exactly enough. Ugh, 2 lands. Because we could have played the spinner and then played the... Well, actually, we don't have any action. Yeah. Yeah, they got this one. Ah, Corey Steel Cutter. Good card. Yeah, seems fine. Oh, so one thing to keep in mind with this deck. So we have a lot of these random 2-drops. Gleaming Barriers, Friendly Teddies, and so forth. Market Backwalker, usually a 2-drop. We have a bunch of these random 2-drops. In general, we don't want to run them out on turn 2. However, if we don't have Sibsig Ceremony, well, we want to hold them because of Sibsig Ceremony. We want to be able to play them after the ceremony for part of the combo. However, if we're trying to beseech the mirror, we need an artifact on the battlefield. So we are going to, we'll start with, actually, which one do we want to play? Let's just mark it back for 1. That way, if it dies, maybe we draw land. But because we're on a beseech the mirror hand to find Sibsig, we actually want to run out some of this stuff early just to, don't exile it. You can kill it, that's fine. If you want to kill it, we don't care. Was this control? Well, Strategic Betrayal. That's unfortunate. We drew a land, though, which is nice. So, actually, maybe we save that for after we find Sibsig. Let's play the Teddy. Let's play the Teddy. Play the Greedy Freebooter. Market Backwalker is really nice just because it has the flexibility. Once we have Sibsig, we can potentially cast it to draw more cards. Well, beatdowns. Oh, exactly how we drew it up. The janky beats. Pass turn. Come on, land number 3. Opponent, land passes. Well, or land number 4. There's land number 4. Oh, snake. Okay. Oh, that's actually very awkward. So we can eat our artifact, which means we can't actually beseech. I was worried about them countering it anyway, but yeah, it's awkward. Oh, we get to draw off the Teddy. More lands. Yeah, let's run out the Puppeteer. Puppeteer is good for the future. Puppeteer is actually really good in this deck. Puppeteer is one of those cards that I feel like is very close to being standard playable. Go for the Throat, eh? Well, sure, but the Teddy's back. The Teddy's back. So we still don't have a spinner. Do we just... Man, they feel so controlling. Them having some sort of negate or something seems kind of realistic. Let's get in with the Greedy Freebooter. We'd actually be fine with our opponent trading here. We hope they trade here. We'd rather have a treasure and a dead Freebooter. Yeah, opponent gonna take the 1. Yeah, let's play the land, and I think we just pass. I don't think, even if we resolve the Besiege and get Sibsig Ceremony, we don't really have the juice to win right away. So I feel like it's worth just waiting. Getting things set up to make sure, more lands, to make sure that when we go for it, we're actually gonna win. Because we probably only get one shot at it. Like, we've already seen Fangkeeper's Familiar, which can blow up Sibsig Ceremony, which fizzles the combo. So we need to find the right window. Let's just run a big Market Backwalker, see if this resolves. If it does, then it's good to besiege off of at least. That might be enough to let us besiege next turn. Because worst case, even if they counter it, ooh, Ugin. Okay, well, it's actually excellent. Thank you, opponent. Ugin has disappointed me in standard. It doesn't feel like it does enough in mode. Like, the 7 mana, they draw a card, gain 3, blow up a 1/1 in a Sibsig Ceremony. Wow, we can do it all. We have enough mana because we flood it out. We can actually just Sibsig and then besiege. And with drawing 3 up this Market Backwalker and having a Teddy in hand, we might be about to beat an Ugin. All right, crack the Market Backwalker. Spinner of Souls finds us a Charming Scoundrel. We draw, ooh, okay, we really need something to make a treasure. We need like a Gleaming Barrier. If we can make a single treasure to get started, I think we win this turn. We do have the Teddy though, which helps. So we get to play Teddy for free. Get the Sibsig Ceremony, get a zombie, trigger, spinner. Ooh, more spinner is not great. Okay, Scrapwork Mutt, that is fine. That keeps us going. Yeah, because we spent all our mana, we need one source of mana to cast the Charming Scoundrel and the Freebooter. Oh, Gleaming Barrier. Okay. All right, that should do it. Now I think the odds of us winning are pretty good. Well, Gleaming Barrier. Yeah, Ugin. 7 mana kill a greedy Freebooter. Oh, Spider, a little expensive. Well, let's play the greedy Freebooter. I mean, I guess we could still fizzle here. It's not super likely, but it's possible. We get to scry. Yeah, I mean, sure. Kind of spinning our wheels, but it's another free 2/2. Greedy Freebooter. For 1 mana, but it makes back 1 mana. So again, technically a free card. Trigger the spinner. Definitely do not want more Sibsig Ceremonies at this point. Okay, well, Teddy. So at this point, I think if we can just find a recruiter, we should have it. Market Backwalker's good. Market Backwalker. X1. Draw a card. Get a zombie. All right, more Market Backwalkers. More Teddies. Well, Teddy. Draw a card. Spinner. Spinner's so cool in this deck. Spinner feels like a good card that just hasn't really caught on, but it's so perfect for this combo. Well, there's some red mana. Where is our Imodane's recruiter? Let's play a Mutt. I mean, we're gonna find it eventually. We have so many redraws. That's the power of Spinner. And there's a recruiter. All right, discard a land, and yeah, I mean, we will mercifully play the we could keep going, but we will just play the Imodane's recruiter. Haste up the crew, and opponent sees what happened, scoops it up, and that's a Sibsig Ceremony. Better than Ugin. Confirmed. Spinner of Souls. Better than new Ugin. You heard it here first. Sweet. All right. This hand. Well, we have a Besiege. Is this fine? This hand's so weird. Sibsig Ceremony Wombo combo. This hand is odd. So we don't have Sibsig, but we have the Besiege. It's just kind of expensive. Well, Surveil land. Yeah, I think we mill it. Pass the turn. Well, next step is... Well, first step is going to be eventually... Overlord of the Bailmerk is eventually going to be to try to besiege a Sibsig Ceremony into play. However, we also would like to find a spinner. Spinner would be nice. We have the Puppeteer. So if we can get the spinner in the graveyard, we do have a way to get it into play. Oh, Tevel. Okay, that's kind of frightening. I don't know if I want to play the Mutt because we don't really have anything to discard, but we need to play an artifact for Besiege. Let's just play Gleaming Barrier. I kind of want to hold on to the Mutt until if we can find a Spinner of Souls. Overlord taken down. Well, Market Backwalker. Ooh, are we gonna get punished for Are we gonna get punished for putting that land to the bottom? Well, let's play the mutt. Discard the recruiter. All right, there's a land. Now we'll keep the market back walker. It's good. It's good with the combo. So this is gonna be interesting. So it looks like up the beanstalk. We're gonna go for it next turn. We don't have spinner, so we don't necessarily get to go infinite. Let's see if this is gonna be enough to win. Well, beseech the mirror. So we can sack the barrier, so we can get a treasure. So we're gonna start with 1 mana that we have access to. Well, get the Sibsig Ceremony. Play the Sibsig Ceremony. And let's see how far we can go. So we'd like to still find a spinner. Well, let's see. Market back walker. Draw a card, make a zombie. Yeah, I mean, I guess we market back walker. Draw a card, make a zombie. Little less spectacular without spinner out there. Well, there's the spinner. So we get to play, now we need a treasure. We need a way to make a single treasure. Oh, land, okay. We can't play the land. Oh, we're so close. Friendly Teddy, draw a card. We need 1 more mana to play the puppeteer to get back the spinner. All right, well. So we don't win this turn. We can try next turn if our Sibsig Ceremony sticks. Hopefully our opponent just plays a Tevil or something. That'd be the best. Because we will probably win next turn. Very likely win next turn if we still have the Sibsig Ceremony. Because we can puppeteer, get back spinner. Hopefully we draw another free thing. Worst case, oh, right. Right. Disruptive Stormbrood. We knew about this. I don't know why. I was thinking of that as a removal spell, but yes, it has an ETB effect too, which is blow up an artifact or a chat. Okay. About this having a Sibsig Ceremony. I take it all back. Well, I mean, I guess this means we get to play a spinner. That's something. we just run out the spinner now. We could play the puppeteer. Is that better than the spinner? Yeah, let's play puppeteer. And then I guess we just swing out. And, I mean, we lose something. But we hit you for 8, down to 10. Oh, do we hold on to that for combo? We're going to run it out. I think we're trying to win fairly this game, as awkward as that is. If we draw Sibsig Ceremony, I'm going to be sad that we played the freebooter, but... Oh, Tevil lifelink is annoying. Ooh, Scavenger Regent. Oh, wow. That was a wrath that just triggered up the beanstalk, too. Good news is we do get back a spinner. Bad news is we should have... Well, agreeds to the bottom. Bad news is without Sibsig Ceremony, it doesn't do that much. Mox Jasper. Found it. Uninvents. Well, there's more puppeteers. How do we do this? So if we play, maybe we just play both. Play the spinner. Play the puppeteer. Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is just not going to be a combo game. Pass the turn. Yeah, so now even if we draw a Sibsig, we don't really have a creature to start the chain. But, ooh. I know we played Ugin before, and I kind of mocked it, and it wasn't very good. This one's a little bit better. This one gets rid of a puppeteer, not a greedy freebooter. Makes some mana. Oh, makes the mana, waste the mana. Gets in with Overlord of the Bailmerk. Mills some cards. It is pretty cute that you can Overlord back Scavenger Regent. I'm gonna have to mess around with Sultai. I feel like Scavenger Regent, it's not a very efficient wrath. Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty dead here. Let's loot this away. Yeah, draw land. Man, we can hit our opponent to what, 2? We're just gonna go max damage. Get in there, everything in your face. Opponent has to block, so we're gonna get another card at least. Drops to 2. But I don't know how we get in the final 2. There's a spider. Opponent. Land. Yeah, I think they got this one. Takes up Ugin. Draws a card. Gains some life up to 5. And a Tevil, yeah. Alright. Yeah, now we definitely... That's too much life. There's no way we can beat this amount of life gain. And removal. Now we can't even spider away anything because we don't have a creature. Yeah. Man, so close. We almost won without the full combo. That was very close. Sibsig Ceremony time. We're doing some Sibsigery. Sibsigination. In standard. In this hand, we got mulligan because we don't have a Sibsig Ceremony. This hand, not great, but we have a besiege, which, yeah, let's just surveil. We don't get to play greeds on turn 1. I think we keep the puppeteer for future spinning purposes. Not doing anything super fast, but let's play the freebooter. And play the mortuary. Well, okay. Top of the deck Sibsig Ceremony. That is what we want to see. And opponent, tap out for something. Opponent passes. If our opponent's not tapping out, I don't know if I'm playing Sibsig. Yeah, let's get and hit you. We don't have a spinner, so it's not like we win this turn anyway. We just make like a few zombies. As soon as our opponent... Oh, no! Mistakes may have been made. Oil Deep Gear Hulk to take the Sibsig Ceremony. I mean, we still do have the besiege, but now our opponent knows about it, which can make it harder. Let's play a mutt, discard a mutt, draw a land, and pass the turn. Gonna be tough. This one's gonna be tough. Found it, land. Now they just know what we can do. The information's the biggest thing, because now they know, well, if we don't leave up mana, they can besiege. It seems so likely they have a counter. Well, let's get in there. Hit you. Down to 20. Play the land. And you know what? Let's play a big. Actually, our opponent knows our entire hand. Yeah, let's just play a big market back walker. I think this makes the most sense. Play a big market back walker. If they counter it, whatever. If they don't counter it, hopefully we draw some cards. All right. So our opponent did have a counter. Dispelling Exile. And gonna do a little stocking up. Well, we're definitely not winning the race at the moment. The lifelink on this Gear Hulk. Discard is good against this deck. Discard is good against it. So far, my impression of the deck is mono red is, or is it, whatever. The super aggro decks, those are just really good in general. Discard is annoying. Discard is annoying. Outside of like super aggro and discard, though, the deck feels pretty good. Yeah, let's run on a puppeteer. Set up for the future, play a land, pass the turn. We're gonna have to start doing some blocking here. See if we can stop this oil deep. Their opponents, oh, that's what, okay, well, yeah, cannot be Doomsday Excruciator. Yeah, the problem with that is we just literally don't have enough cards in our deck to win. We need to chain stuff together to make zombies, and if we only have 6 cards in our deck, not happening. Sibsibery, Sibsib, that's that Mary Poppins song, right? Sibsibery. Sibsigery, found it. What are we up to? Well, we found a Sibsig Ceremony. Sibsigery. I don't know why I can't say that now. Sibsigery. Temple is islands for our opponent for some Sibsigery of their own. Let's play a Surveil land. You know, I mean, Market Back Walker is a combo piece. We do kind of need some gas. Like, we have the spinner, we got the puppeteer. We don't have the free thing to play to start the chain. So I think it's actually worth keeping just because of that. Ellis Alcor, some sort of aristocrat deck. I've seen some people talking about some sort of like aristocrat mobilized deck that sounds neat. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be better than the normal Mardu that we played. Like, Mardu Mobilize actually felt pretty good. I thought that deck felt very strong. And I think adding a bunch of aristocrat stuff slows it down, but the synergy's cool of all the tokens like sacking themselves. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. I mean, in our dream world, and I don't know if we can get away with this, but in our dream world, we just run out the spinner and then it lives, and then the next turn we play the Sibsig Ceremony, and then we have a really cool turn and we win. Yeah, we're gonna play it. We're gonna hope. The only downside is our opponent doesn't have a flyer here, and they might be like, well, I want to attack with my Starscape Cleric. And that might get them to kill the spinner, which would be awkward. Without the spinner, we can still make a bunch of zombies. Well, some zombies. With the spinner. Ooh, Vengeful Blood Witch. Okay. Okay, is that it? Is that it? Is that all? Opponent drains us. Sure, down to 16. Getting in with the Death Toucher. Okay, we'll take it. That's fine. We will go to 14 because it's time for some Sibsigery. Sibsig Saru. We're gonna play a Market Back Walker. And it is party time. It's gonna die. We get to draw a card. We get to get a spinner trigger. Well, I was gonna say we need to hit some treasures at some point, but I think our odds of winning here are pretty high. Gleaming Barrier gets our treasure, makes a zombie, triggers the spinner. All right, more market back walking. Sure, market back walker. Sibsig, trigger, spinner, trigger, draw. Okay, there's a recruiter. Oh, this is gonna be easy mode. So now we just gotta make enough stuff to be lethal, but we already have the full combo. Well, play another Gleaming Barrier. Find another market back walker. It's pretty hard to hard whiff once you start comboing. If you have the Spinner of Souls, well, there's a Charming Scoundrel. And how about a Friendly Teddy? I still can't believe we're playing Friendly Teddy. It's so good, though. Draw. Well, market back walker. How far do we need to go? Dude, we might already have lethal, actually. Counting sounds like a lot of effort, though. So rather than counting, let's just keep comboing until we don't have to worry about counting. Scrapwork mutt now. Make another zombie. So up to, what, 9 zombies and the spinner? Now there's another scrapwork mutt. Discard the land. Well, play the mutt. I mean, I guess we could just do this until our opponent gives up. That's also... I try to be nice and, like... If we have obvious lethal, and especially if our opponent knows about the Immodane's Recruiter, I try not to just keep going forever because I feel like it's disrespectful, but we also want to make sure we have enough. And we don't want to count. Counting while playing Magic. Well, let's just play a couple Immodane's Recruiters. You know another good way not to have to count? Just play a whole bunch of Immodane's Recruiters, because then the pump is probably going to be enough. Well, haste up the crew ×2, and here they come for you, and that's some good Sibsigery. About it. Looking a little dead over there, and yeah. Was that turn 3? No, turn 4? Regardless, that was pretty fast. Sweet. This hand actually looks kind of good. We got the spinner, we got the Sibsig, we got a Greeds. I think we keep this. Swamp, eh? Well, let's play the Mortuary. Mill the Waka. And pass turn. Oh, about it. Swamp. And I'm done with a pass in here. I could deal with a little pass. A little passy pass. Found it, passes. Well, let's play the land. Yeah, let's just run out. Let's run out Greeds. We need another land one of these days. If Greeds dies, we get to scry at least. If Greeds dies, we get... Wow, thank you, opponent. That was nice of you. And we have the land on top. Was not expecting them just to kill the Greeds, but that worked out excellently for us. And now... Oh, man. Oh, they're discard. I see. I feel like, wow, that actually... This is backfiring on our opponent so hard. Okay, opponent makes us discard. Do we win now? This is actually turn 3, right? So we had to play Sibsib Ceremony. Since our opponent let us discard the spinner, now we get to play Gleaming Barrier. Get a treasure. That gets us enough mana to play Puppeteer, which is gonna die, of course, to get us back the spinner. If our opponent did nothing, none of this would have happened. Our opponent killing the... Well, all right, come on. Let's actually win on turn 3. Let's win on turn 3. Come on, spinner. Oh, recruiter. And, okay, Scrapwork Mutt. Still going. Scrapwork Mutt. We need another treasure. We need another treasure for the recruiter. Well, it dies. Spinner triggers. Okay. That's friendly Teddy. We do like friendly Teddy. Friendly Teddy. Couple of redraws. For free. Spinner triggers. Ooh, Puppeteer, not great. Oh, all right. Well, so close to the turn 3 win. We comboed on turn 3. Opponent going to nowhere to run. I imagine kill the spinner. I mean, do we just win this turn, though? I feel like we're still in... all right. Opponent's going to cut down a zombie. I feel like we're still in pretty good shape. So we play the Puppeteer. Get back the spinner. Start the process over. Puppeteer's so big in this deck. Well, all right. Freebooter, dies, treasure, triggers. Don't really need the land, although I guess Spinner's gonna get rid of it anyway. Into Market Back Walker, that's a good one. Draw a card. And all right, Greaves, sure. Again, we might have lethal, but I don't really want to count. So we're just gonna play a couple more creatures real quick. Greedy freebooter dies. Scrap work mutt. Yeah, whatever. That's got to be 4, 8, 9. I think we have lethal now. This seems like easy lethal. Immodane's recruiter, and here comes the zombies. And well, so close to the straight up turn 3 win. Virtual turn 3 win, literal turn 4 win. Sibsig Ceremony. It is Sibsig time, and we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this hand. I'm curious. So my normal rule for this deck is treat it not all the way like Zombie Hunt, but a little bit like Zombie Hunt, in the sense that should mulligan aggressively to 6 for sure, to 5 often, to try to find the Sibsig Ceremony, because that's the card that makes everything work, right? We don't do anything cool without Sibsig Ceremony. I'm curious, this hand has a lot of what we want, right? We don't have Sibsig, or a way to get it, but we have the puppeteer, we have the spinner, so we have a lot of our secondary pieces. So I'm curious, can we get away with keeping hands like this? Like, how does our deck function if we don't mulligan that aggressively? Let's just play a spinner. There's no way we just went fairly, right? Opponent, mill the Sunfall, by the way. Worth keeping in mind. Rediscover the way. And passes. We find a land. It's either a spinner, or we don't really want to play the Gleaming Barrier, because someday we would still like to draw a Sibsig Ceremony. Well, let's get in Hitcha. Down to 13. And yeah, playing a second spinner is kind of nice, because that means if they kill one of them, we're going to draw off the other at least. Opponent, rediscover the way. Hopefully they don't have a Sunfall. I mean, I guess they can't Sunfall this turn. Hopefully they don't have a Sunfall next turn. Exiling everything would be kind of obnoxious. All right, opponent. Brotherhood End. Okay. Well, I mean, the good news is we get to refuel. We will keep... Well, it's going to get shuffled away. All right. Charming Scoundrel. Would have been nice if we could have the Besiege, but instead we'll get a bunch of creatures, which is also fine. And a land. Well, playing the land. The spinner was pretty nice there. Wrathar Bard, but we drew 4 creatures even. So we can spinner into Charming Prince, or Charming Scoundrel into, yeah, I think we still just make the treasure. Maybe that's fine. It's a balancing act, right? If you don't have the combo, it's a balancing act of how much do I hold for if I draw Sibsig Ceremony? How much do I play to try to pressure without Sibsig Ceremony? Against this deck, I'm still worried that this would be the Sunfall turn. Like, yes, they slowed things down with the Brotherhood End, but it still seems very possible that they could just be like, land Sunfall, make us very sad. So I feel like holding stuff back this turn especially makes sense. Would still just like to find a Sibsig Ceremony. So it's looking like maybe we should mulligan for the Sibsig. It's looking like maybe the plan of like, can we keep a fair hand? Maybe that is predictably not a great one. Opponent. Shigo. I do love Shigo. Shigo's gotta be one of the cooler cards from the set. Against the odds deck we played last week. 3 blind mice Shigo. Oh, so good. So good. Found it, brothers at end. Rest away our board. We get a spinner trigger, which is gonna find us the friendliest of teddies and even more spinners. Have we drawn every spinner? I feel like we found every spinner. We could scrap work, but discard the freebooter. We really want Sibsig Ceremony. Yeah, all right, no Sibsig. So let's play the spinner. The funny thing is, if we just drawn Sibsig that turn, I think we win. We've had actually, we're kind of in that spot, right? Where if we ever find Sibsig, assuming our opponent doesn't have instant speed interaction, if we ever find Sibsig, we should just straight up win the game. Opponent, Biza. The Bounding Spring, gonna gain a little life. And, oh my God, it's a Lightning Helix. I'm pretty sure like 2 people get that joke at this point. That's for all you old timers out there. I don't know, if you're watching this video, do you know what, oh my God, it's Lightning Helix is? I don't know, maybe it's iconic enough that even newer players know. I'm not sure, I forget that that's like 20 years ago now or something. I'm pretty sure it was actually pretty close to 20 years ago. Well, let's play a Market Backwalker. Things are kind of slipping away though, just because no Sibsig, no fun. That's the rules of this deck. Bounty. I mean, it is true. This is not one of those decks. Sometimes you play a combo deck and you're like, well, one of the upsides of this deck is, yeah, we're a combo deck, but we don't have to play a bunch of bad cards to make our combo work. This is not one of those decks. We're playing a lot of bad cards to combo with Sibsig Ceremony, which is why the fair game plan, not usually the most ideal. Oh boy. Oh, that's pretty daggery. Well, temporary lockdown to wrath our board. So I think we need to draw a Sibsig right now to have any chance. Oh, actually, the spider. Oh, if we had held on to the greedy freebooter, we could have cast. All right, yep. You got it, Chico. You got it. Oh, yeah. We're going to put the artifact to the bottom. Wait, leyline. A little bit weird because we have Beseech and we need an artifact to sack, but we're going to trust. Our deck has a lot of artifacts in it, so I feel like our odds of drawing one are pretty high. It's hard to know without knowing the matchup. But Johnny's Pride Mayday. Gets in, hits us. Gains a bit of life. Play the Blaze Mire Birch. Get down a Spinner of Souls. Go. Some classic Soul Sisters. I don't know if you saw this. It's been a meme forever that arena players love life gain decks and a Johnny Pride Mate decks way more than they should. That it's like, you play against them so... I feel like every new player is like, oh my god, life gain so OP, I'm gonna build a life gain deck. So this has been a meme like forever. Wizards not that long ago actually confirmed Johnny's Pride Mate, the most crafted card on Magic Arena, which actually sounds funny from a competitive perspective, but I guess it shows how much people love their life gain. It's also funny because it's not even like, what is it, like the fourth best Ajani Pride Mate? Like Essence Channeler is just a better Ajani's Pride Mate. But it's also uncommon, which is probably the big difference. The upgraded ones are usually rare. Pony Healer's Hawk. That is a big board. That is a big board. Are we going to be fast enough? We have the spinner, though. We only have one thing to sack, so we can block with a barrier. We got to try to win this turn. Either I think we win this turn or we lose. Opponent's up to 30, so we're going to have to... Boy, we're really going to have to not fizzle. All right, well, Gleaming Barrier dies. We get a treasure. Spinner triggers. All right, that is good. I've never wanted to see a friendly Teddy more in my life. But that gives us two things to cast. So we got a shot. We got a shot. We got a shot. So 1, 2, 3, and I mean, we got to go for it. Beseech the Mirror. Sack the treasure. And get the Sibsig Ceremony. And, well, here we go. We got the spinner, we got the ceremony, we got 2 cards in hand to start the chain. Friendly Teddy number 1. Triggers. So we need to hit treasure production. And then we need to... Oh, those were 2 nice hits. Okay, that's pretty good. Hitting 2 things that trigger our Sibsig's pretty nice. Spinner Souls into more spinners. And... all right, more friendly Teddies. We'll just keep taking friendly Teddies. We will take them all. Opponent's at 38, so we're going to need a lot of zombies. We do need treasure production relatively soon. The first treasure is really important because it turns on all the greedy freebooters and charming scoundrels. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Well, this is our last. We got to hit it off this. Scrapwork butt. If we don't hit something, I guess an untapped land would also potentially do it. Okay, Puppeteer, that's not it. We will discard Sibsig Ceremony. Whew, okay, staying alive. Scrapwork Mutt, try it again. Treasure, we need something that makes a treasure. That does make it, I should have been more specific. That does make a treasure, but it doesn't do it. We'll discard a spinner. Okay, oh, there it is, Gleaming Barrier. Okay, now I think we're good. That's the missing piece, because now we get the treasure. So now we have what, 4 more? Oh, and there's the recruiter. Well, now we just got to make sure we go far enough that we win through all this lifelink. So, greedy freebooter, treasure, scrapwork mutt. I mean, might as well keep it. This time we're just going all the way. This time we're just going all the way. We're gonna play as many things as possible. Scrapwork. Can we literally play our entire deck? Does it work with Sibsig Ceremony? Every creature in the deck, that's the hope. At least every castable one. Well, Marketback Walker. X1, draw a card. Spinner. Up to 10 zombies. And Marketback Walker. Up to 11 zombies, draw a card. The funny thing is I still don't think this is lethal yet. It's not like we're going for overkill. It just actually isn't lethal because our opponent has so much life gain and so many blockers. Well, Gleaming Barrier. Make a little mana. Trigger our Spider. Well, how about a Scrapwork Mod? Trigger. Oh, another Marketback Walker is good. Get rid of the Spider. Not planning on spending your mana on that this game. Well, play the Marketback Walker. Trigger the Sibsig Ceremony. Spinner into another Marketback Walker and a greedy freebooter. Well, Marketback Walker. Trigger. This is a little hit our swans and draw some cardy once it gets going. Once it gets going, it's a little hit our swans and draw some cards, but who doesn't love hitting their swans and drawing some cards? Greedy freebooter. We gotta be getting close to our every creature, right? How close are we? Let's see. So Puppeteer, whatever. You can go to the bottom. Spinner. We draw a Puppeteer. Well, let's play the Charming Scoundrel. Like, at some point, the Spinner is going to stop giving us creatures, because we would have gotten them all. And I think we got to be getting close to that point. Okay, there we are. All right. We have done it. We have drawn every creature in our deck with Spinner Souls. And now we will Immodane's Recruiter. Pump the Dorks. 19 zombies. Immodane's Recruiter. Number 2. Pump even more Dorks. And grow the team, and last but not least, oh wait, we don't have another Immodane's Recruiter. I guess we'll have to settle for 2. All right, opponent, 20 zombies and a Spinner. Can you stop it? Our opponent had a very nice start too. Like, our opponent's got 11-11 and 8-7. They gained a ton of life. They're almost at 40. I don't think our opponent was expecting to die this turn. I think our opponent was thinking, wow, I got this one locked up. But turns out, Sibsib Ceremony. Too good, and our opponent ends at negative 34 from 38, or negative 30. Sweet. Sibsig Ceremony. So what do we learn this week about this Sibsig Ceremony in Standard? In record-wise, oh my god, we have quite the story to tell with the record. So overall, there's 5 different versions of this deck that I played while building it. Overall, with all those versions, I'm 17-24 with the deck for a 41% win rate, which is not great, although it's worth mentioning the most recent version of the deck, the one that's actually in the video, we went 6-6 with that. So we got up to a 50% win rate with the final version of the deck. More hilarious, though, is the matchups. If you look at our matchups with this deck, we went 0-7, and this is with all the different versions, not the most recent version, but we went 0-7 against the Is It Corey Steel Cutter Prowess deck, and we went 0-6 against Mono Red. So 0-13 against the red aggro decks in the format. On the other hand, if you take out those matchups, we actually had a very positive record, like a 60-something, 65, almost 70% win rate in non-red aggro matchups. So this is a deck that it's just not quite fast enough to consistently, or apparently ever, beat the red aggro decks, but it does really, really well in basically every other matchup. We have a really good matchup, which kind of makes sense, because if you look at the deck, we're pretty good at winning like turn 3 or turn 4. Probably turn 4 is the most common. Turn 3 with a good draw. In theory, we could technically win on turn 2 with a greedy freebooter, like dying on turn 1 or something. But really, it's mostly a turn 4 combo deck. So it makes sense that we kind of struggle against Mono Red, just because they're pretty good at winning on turn 3. And it's not like we're a disruptive deck. We have a single Skyfisher Spider as like removal in the deck. So it's not like we have a lot of ways to slow down our opponent. So it's very interesting to see that it's a deck that's really good. It's just really bad against red aggro. On the other hand, and most importantly, we got to see the deck do some hilarious things. The combo itself is really consistent. If you're willing to mulligan aggressively for Sibsig Ceremony or Besiege the Mirror, it's pretty easy to assemble, and we got to see it rarely fizzles. And one of the upsides of the combo is even if we do fizzle, fizzling usually means we made like 5 2/2 Zombie Druids on turn 3 or something, but we didn't have the haste to like close out the game. So we still build a really big board, and our combo's still in place for us to just go again the next turn once we have our mana untapped. So even when we fizzle, it's not like fizzling. Like if you think of Storm combo fizzling, it's like I'm trying to win the game and I fizzle and now I lose the game. This deck isn't really like that. Usually we win the game when we combo, and if we don't literally win the game, we build this huge board and win the game the next turn anyway. So the deck's really hilarious. It is kind of repetitive. I will say, like, you're trying to do the same thing every single time, which makes it feel a little bit like a zombie hunt style combo deck where it's like, okay, we mulligan for this one piece. If we get the one piece, we do this really sweet thing. If we don't get the one piece, then we're probably not going to do anything. So it is a little zombie huntish, but I think the deck's hilarious. I think it's really interesting and fun to play. It probably would get a little boring eventually, just because, like I said, it does get a little repetitive that you're just like setting up the same combo again and again and again. But Sibsig Ceremony, super sweet, and it's just sweet to see all these janky cards that you would never play in any other deck actually being some of the best cards in our deck. Like Spinner of Souls, cool card, sees 0 play. Gixen Puppeteer, really sweet card, doesn't see any play. Or like Friendly Teddy, who plays Friendly Teddy in his standard deck? So it's cool to see all these pieces of jank that no other deck wants actually be some of the best cards in our deck. So anyway, that is Sibsig Ceremony combo for standard. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.